Good day, everyone. This is a video on the teacher and the school curriculum in Edu 9. Lesson 8.3 Curricular Modification in Basic Education Post-Pandemic. In this lesson, we'll discuss why the curriculum changed after the pandemic, the impact of these changes, and how they both affect teachers and students. To guide our discussion, I will be answering 7 important questions related to curriculum changes, teaching strategies, and the challenges we face as a future educators. Number 1. Why do you think the curriculum had to change after the pandemic? Do you agree with the changes? Why or why not? When the pandemic happened, schools had no choice but to stop face-to-face classes. Because of that, the curriculum had to change so that students could still continue learning from home. This is where online learning, modular learning, and blended learning started. I agree with these changes because they help students continue their studies even during lockdowns. But I also saw some challenges, especially for students who didn't have internet or gadgets. Even if it wasn't perfect, I believe the changes were necessary. It taught us that we need to make education more flexible and inclusive so that learning can still happen anytime and anywhere, no matter the situation. Number 2. What learning style worked best for you during the pandemic, and how will you use that in your future classroom? During the pandemic, I personally found modular learning to be the best for me. I like having printed materials and being able to study at my own pace. I didn't have to worry about a set schedule, which gave me the chance to take my time with subjects I found more difficult and go back to review them as needed. This helped me learn more effectively because I wasn't rushed. And in my future classroom, I would use modular learning also because it gives students a chance to be more independent in their learning. Some students might need more time to fully understand a lesson, and with modular learning, they can go through the materials as many times as they need without feeling pressured. However, I'd make sure to balance it with some online learning or group activities so students don't feel isolated and still get to interact with each other. Number 3. If you were teaching in a place with weak internet and few gadgets, how would you help your students learn using the new curriculum? If I were in an area with weak internet and limited gadgets, I would focus on being resourceful with the materials available. I would use printed worksheets and activities that students could complete on their own at home. This way, students don't have to rely on internet access or gadgets to learn. For example, if I'm teaching a science lesson, I could give students simple experiments to do at home using things they already have. I would also make sure to keep in touch with students through text or phone calls to answer any questions and offer support. We could also have small or safe group meetings where students can ask questions or go over lessons together. The main goal would be to make sure students don't fall behind even if technology isn't available to them. It's about being creative and making the most of what we have. Number 4. How can you take care of your students' mental health and emotions as a future teacher? Give at least one specific way. Mental health is incredibly important, especially after everything that happened during the pandemic. As a future educator, I believe it's crucial to help my pupils with their emotional well-being. One way I would do this is by holding regular check-in sessions at the start of each class. I could ask them how they're feeling that day or give them a short mood survey. This would give students the chance to express what's going on in their lives, both the good and the bad. And it is important to create a classroom environment where students feel safe to express their emotions. And by doing this, I can identify if any students need extra support or help and make sure they feel understood and not alone. Number 5. What are the good and bad sides of using digital tools like Zoom or Google Classroom? How can you make sure all your students can access them? As a future educator, I think digital tools like Zoom and Google Classroom are really helpful especially during the pandemic. They allow teachers and students to stay connected even when we couldn't meet face to face. One good thing about them is that students can join classes from anywhere, access lessons, and submit assignments, and even rewatch recorded discussion if needed. It also saves time and make learning more flexible. But I also see the downside. Not all students have internet or gadgets at home. Some live in far areas with weak signal, while others share devices with family members. Because of this, some students get left behind or miss out on important lessons. And to make sure all students can still learn, I would find out who among them have no access, and for those students who don't, I would prepare printed modules or activity sheets that they can pick up from school or have delivered if possible. In that way, even without gadgets or internet, they still have the chance to learn the same lessons. And I believe being flexible and understanding is really important so that no students feel left out or forgotten. Number 6. Why is it important for teachers to understand laws like RA 10533 and DepEd's BE-LCP, and how do they support curriculum changes? As a future educator, I believe it's very important to understand education laws like RA 10533 and DepEd's BE-LCP because this guides us on what and how to teach. RA 10533 helps makes the curriculum updated and fit for what students really need today. And it reminds us that learning should be relevant and student-centered. And the BE-LCP, on the other hand, helped us during the pandemic by giving a clear plan on how learning can still continue even during hard times. These laws support curriculum changes by making sure that the teachers are ready and students still learn, no matter the situation. And for me, knowing this helps us become better and more prepared teachers. Number 7. And how will you teach both academic lessons and life skills at the same time in your class? Teaching both academic lessons and life skills at the same time is a great way to make lessons more meaningful and practical. For example, if I'm teaching a math lesson, I could have students work in small groups to solve problems together. So in this way, they not only learn the math skills, but they also practice teamwork, communication, and problem-solving skills that they can use in real life. I would also include activities that require students to think critically and make decisions, like debates or role-playing, to make them improve their communication and decision-making skills. And by integrating life skills with academic lessons, the students can see how the lessons they learn in class can be applied to their everyday lives. And it is about preparing them for the future and not just for exam.